Possum Patty from Pennsylvania, back with volume number 8 of my Strathmore Series 500 Mixed Media Journal. The first page, I have a self-portrait. I put a sticker frame around the edge. This is done with acrylic transfer, and I have acrylic painting on the top. This page was influenced by Van Gogh, as you can see, acrylic. This is tree number 140 of my 10,000 tree series. Here I did a little bit of watercolor sketching after dinner in the garden. This was on September 2nd, and that would be 2016, according to the spine of the journal. Some more watercolor sketching. These are some really strange clouds that I saw that look like pillows. On September 21st, I sketched this little vase or pot of mums while I was eating my oatmeal for breakfast. This page, more watercolors, and I did some outlining with black ink and white ink. And this is one of my What's on My Mind series. Why does the smallest of the trees have the largest leaves? I looked out the window and the small tulip tree had one yellowish brown leaf, and the next day it had two. This was September 13th, 2016. This was tree number 139 of my 10,000 tree series. On this double spread, I was just practicing different methods of retaining the whites or making white over different color paints. On this frame, I used a white Posca pen, Sharpie oil marker. This one is a white gouache. This one is a white acrylic. Pitt Artist pen, a white Jelly Roll pen, white Crayola Resist, Derwent Color Soft Pencil Resist, masking fluid, oil pastel resist. Down here I have Acrylic crayon resist, and down here same thing, Acrylic crayon resist. This page was to remind myself that we did not have much rain at this time of the year. It was 3 weeks without any rain. Here's my ruler. That was a stamp, and my measurement of rainfall was 0.1 inches of rain. Of course, the purslane grows really well in times of drought. I used some spray inks on this page, and as you can see, they went through to the other side. You can see this little green mark over here. This was some more purslane that I drew. I started with a black gouache background and then put some gouache paint on top. I just love the pattern that the purslane makes. Here was Artist Day down at Mount Cuba. They have an art in every year. This was September 16th, 2016. And if you're an artist, you can get in for free and paint all the wonderful flowers in the meadow. These were some New England asters, a large tree next to the meadow. And then down the hill by the pond, there were some chairs and some black-eyed Susans. This page was done in gouache. This page was September 17th, and it was Dinosaur Day down at the North Museum at Franklin and Marshall College in Lancaster. I was nature journaling with my friend Carol, and we invited the guests of the museum to sit down and paint some dinosaurs with us. This dinosaur was in gouache. Here I have a very funny portrait of Mr. Spock from Star Trek. I was trying out some gouache, different colors. I have little swatches on the side here. Over here I have a little pot of mums again, and more trying out of colors. These are Derwent art bars at the top, the water soluble. Down here we have some more Derwent art bars. Oh, I see. These are the primary colors, the brights, and then the earth tones. Here's a winter squash I did one morning when I was eating my oatmeal. This was September 30th. Watercolors, and then again outlining with black ink and white ink. This is a portrait of my friend's dog. His name is Barney. Here we have a goldfish, a calico goldfish, done in Chinese brush style. On this page, I was nature journaling at Nolde Forest Environmental Center. This was October 2nd, 2016. And basically, we were printing with leaves. This page is to remind me that I found some earth stars at Nolde Forest. This is my silly Possum Patty character, kind of bending around the page here. It says, "The rains came and washed the stars from the heavens." Earth stars are a type of fungus. Here's my Possum Patty character again. This time I am recording my sighting of a giant swallowtail butterfly that was out in front of the house on my zinnias. The wingspan of the giant swallowtail can be over 6 inches in width. October 16th, 2016, Spooky Science at the North Museum at Franklin and Marshall College in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And here I did a still life of a skull. Another Possum Patty character. This one done in the Klimt style. You can see the gold reflecting. And it says, "News from the mushrooms. Look what popped up in the pasture. These may be purple spored puffballs, well past their prime." Another Possum Patty character. This one I did after a walk at the Eagleman Park. A walking stick on my shoulder. We saw a garter snake in the creek along the trail. And down here is one of the frogs that we saw by the spring. Here I was sketching with Kay in the kitchen, and we did 2 turnips, and I did a pig. 2 turnips and a pig. November 19th, I went nature journaling at the North Museum with Sheila and Carol. And this was a very strange day. We woke up to a bright blue sky. Some trees still hang on to their colorful leaves. And it was late in the season. Here I did the trees, a little sponge effect. But then the sky turned gray. And the temperature fell and the wind blew and the leaves blew away, and lastly by 9 o'clock at night it began to snow. So we went from a sunny 72-degree day to a bit of snow. And in the center of the page I have a colorful Indian corn done with ink and wash. Here's nature journaling at the North Museum, and this is a Rio Grande turkey done with gouache. On this page, call this my breakfast bloom. That means I painted this Peru lily while I was eating breakfast. One of my breakfast sketches. Here I have a fun page that was done in acrylics. It says, "Nothing is less real than realism. Details are confusing. It is only by selection, by elimination, by emphasis that we get at the real meaning of things." Georgia O'Keeffe. This was really fun to do, and it has a lot of texture. Old Possum Woman speaks. The Arctic breath of the winter wolf chills the air and rattles the roof as the temperature falls. He howls down the door, gnaws on your bones, and howls for more. Here is my winter wolf. I did this in Kay's kitchen. We laid down some different watercolors and then blew them with a straw. And I also did some holly while I was nature journaling on December 4th. What's green in winter was our theme for the day. I want to die on Mars, just not on impact. Elon Musk said that. This is about going to the planet Mars. I have a quote here from the movie The Angry Red Planet. And I painted this after I watched the South Korean multimedia artist Jihae on National Geographic Mars, November and December 2016. This is my portrait of her. Here's some poinsettias, and I wrote in my journal here about the winter solstice. Best wishes for an environmentally conscious, socially responsible, low-stress, non-addictive, gender-neutral winter solstice holiday practiced within the most joyous traditions of the religious persuasion of your choice, but with respect for the religious persuasions of others who choose to practice their own religion, as well as those who choose not to practice religion at all. Additionally, a fiscally successful, personally fulfilling, and medically uncomplicated recognition of the generally accepted calendar year 2017, but not without due respect for the calendars of choice of other cultures whose contributions have helped make our society great, without regard to the race, creed, color, religious, or sexual preferences of the wishes. This greeting is subject to clarification or withdrawal. It implies no promise by the wisher to actually implement any of the wishes for herself or himself or others, and no responsibility for any unintended emotional stress these greetings may bring to those not caught up in the seasonal spirit. This one I did Kay's Heaven Earth Man. It's a Japanese art of flower arranging. The things you want to think about are shape, line, and form. I felt I hadn't captured the feeling of the arrangement, so I did it over. I tried to put more movement in the lines. And I call this one Earth, Woman, and Mountain. I do like it better than the first one. Happy New Year, 2017. Bokeh is the aesthetic quality of the blur produced in the out-of-focus parts of an image, looking like small background highlights. I probably did this on black gesso. Here I have fruticose lichen. These are known as British soldiers, and I put my bokeh in the background, if you can see. I think I did that with some pan pastels. Happy New Year. It was the Chinese year of the fire rooster. Roosters are very confident in themselves. Here I've done some cloud appreciation notes. December 30th, 2016. 4 kinds of cloud happening on one day. We had gray with a white edge, all dark gray, white with a gray edge, and pink with a gray edge. And that was my favorite of the day, the pink one with a gray edge. Another cloud report from January 4th. We had blue sky, top white clouds, medium gray, and dark gray streamers hanging down. This was a morning sketch. I think it's a bottle of Benefiber. I really like this spread. It says, whether we jump or are pushed, or the edge of the known world just crumbles at our feet, we fall spinning into some place new and unexpected. Despite our fears of falling, the gifts of the world stand by to catch us. Braiding Sweetgrass. Robin Kimmerer. January 12, 2017. This has a collage background. And on top I have some paints. And I use my black pen to create the doodles on the top. Same technique with collage and painting and then doodle on the top. And I've listed some important things about composing a page. Shape, value, size, color, direction, line, texture, and the principles of unity, conflict, and dominance. A little winter scene. Winter is here. A pair of great horned owlets from the North Museum. This is a burrowing owl. This page I did it on Yupo. Painting is just another way of keeping a diary. Pablo Picasso. These are my Inca doodles on Yupo paper. Here I have some leaf studies. Some morning sketches, single line contour, colored pencils and crayons and ink and wash. And the last page is just a colorful bank of clouds done with some crayons.